The sun and moon have done their dance, and a new year is on the way. For Chinese people, writing black characters on red paper constitutes a prayer for protection and a simple way of expressing their hopes. They hope that these handwritten couplets will bring them good fortune. Behind every type of Chinese handicraft lies the painstaking efforts and intelligence of a craftsman or artisan. They embody their perceptions of life and time in every moment of their lives. People in northeast China have continued their traditions for many generations, traditions that fully reveal their joy of life, national consciousness, and accumulated culture. Along with their skills, craftsmen pass down stories of their family and ethnic group. Not all artisans enjoy socializing. In Li Xiangrong's home this year, it is quiet as usual. His son has no time to come home for the holiday. His wife is in the kitchen making flour and water paste, which will be used to put up couplets on red paper and New Year's pictures. New Year's pictures developed from ancient door god images. Tongyu woodcut New Year's pictures became popular in northeast China when they were introduced by migrants. To find satisfactory wood, Li Xiangrong has to search through most of Tongyu County's lumber mills.
反正也不知道能不能达到你的要求，你只能说是到那块儿翻一翻了。那这能用吗？行。哎，可像找的好呢。行，那这多少钱呢？这个？这破烂还要啥钱了？你就拿走吧。你要是能做成艺术品的话，不更好吗？哎。
Making woodcut New Year's pictures requires more patience than most people can manage. The planks need to be soaked in a river for a whole year to prevent cracking before even starting. Li Xiangrong retrieves the wooden planks after they've been in the river for a year. He takes them home and allows them to slowly dry in the sun, making the wood stronger. Any mistake at this stage would be a major setback since it takes 2 years to prepare the planks. The design is carved into the wood. 3 months from now, the wooden shavings will fall off. The door gods Qin Shubao and Yu Qigong and the 8 immortals crossing the sea are depicted in the picture. Now these pictures are going to get a festival of their own. Adding colour to the 8 immortals crossing the sea with homemade paint makes the figures come alive. Depictions of door gods and New Year's pictures are no longer as popular as they were when Li Xiangrong was young. Li Xiangrong is a busy pedicab driver at work, but at home he becomes a dedicated artisan. Fish and meat are must-have dishes for the Chinese New Year, and New Year's pictures are also essential elements. In northern China, people offer candy and dry fruit to the kitchen god. They pray for peace for the family and good weather for the crops in the coming year. Li's rickshaw also needs a festive touch for the season. The old ways of earning money can no longer support a family. Nevertheless, some traditional skills have not been lost. One such skill is being carried on by this one artisan. With press for the coming year and memories of earlier times, Li Xiangrong and his wife will send New Year's pictures to more families this year. At the end of the lunar year, the temperature suddenly dropped. Yo Wenfeng buries sturgeon taken from the Heilongjiang River in the snow and then returns to her sewing to finish the children's new clothes. Garments made of fish skin are a Hezhe tradition. Yo Wenfeng, now in her 60s, sews new garments for her children every year. Yo Wenfeng starts preparations for the complex process of making fish skin garments in early spring. Spring is the best time to dry fish because there are few flies. After the skin is removed, the fresh fish is cut into strips and dried. This dried fish is an essential dish for the Chinese New Year dinner.
克、猪肉、依兰、杜敏、生炸、牛肉、鸭蛋、鸭葱、乌龙、这样看着啊，是这样。
As soon as it is dry, corn flour is sprinkled on the fish skin to absorb oil, remove the fishy smell, remove fish scales and speed up processing. The fish skin must be thoroughly processed before it can be used as cloth. The Hezhe ethnic group has a population of less than 4,000, and only a few of them can make fish skin garments. Yo Wenfeng's mother, Yo Tuiyu, used to be the only woman in the Hezhe community who had the skill. When Yo Tuiyu passed away, Yo Wenfeng took her place. For thousands of years, from the time of the Shang and Zhou dynasties, the Hezhe people have lived at the confluence of three rivers, the Heilong, Songhua and Ussuri rivers. They made garments of fish skin that kept out the wind and cold when they were fishing and hunting. Fish skin garments are strong and warm, and fish skin boots keep out the cold and the damp. Old customs like these are still useful in modern life because they represent the accumulation of human wisdom. Yo Wenfeng retrieves the frozen sturgeon. Her late husband was good at frying frozen fish. Behind people's memories are always unforgettable stories. Yo Wenfeng has been alone since her husband passed away from an illness. Is an old Hezhe talking and singing style that's been orally transmitted from generation to generation.
老伴就嘱咐我说：“你把姨妈看好好给她都会弄好了咽肠，一定要把孩子们都教会。”
Yo Wenfeng won't feel lonely at this Chinese New Year because she'll be surrounded by her family and Ima Khan. Expectations are growing strong as the Chinese New Year draws near. In a Manchu farmhouse in Hetu Ala Guchang, people are washing and airing their bedding amid the holiday atmosphere of the Chinese New Year. After they're all washed and starched, the bedding will be clean, strong and durable. Aunt Lung, descendant of an eminent Manchu family, has many jars for making thick soy sauce at home. Li Feng is Aunt Lung's second daughter. The soy sauce she makes this year will be served at this year's holiday dinner for the first time. You have to clean the soybeans without losing a single bean. This was the first lesson Aunt Lung gave to her.
我到地也不怕，给它捡起来，再烧去了。种一颗豆子都容易的。
Li Feng is still single, but Aunt Lung hopes that in the coming year, her daughter will find a good partner.
一莫我姑娘找个如意郎君，二莫我姑娘有个美满婚姻，三莫我姑娘天天开心。
Aunt Lung and Li Feng beat the bean puree and shape it into square bricks.
把酱拿回去。为什么包这个纸呢？就是青草掉下以后没有灰，包酱你包的紧实点，就比较干净。
The blocks of soybean paste are hung on the wall to ferment for several months. It seems like a long time for those who are waiting on it. After they've dried in the sun, Li Feng puts the fermented soybean paste blocks into jars and adds water and salt. The jars are covered and placed in the sun to continue fermenting.
这红绳酱，年到头的酱啊，都是今天开始去做。绑红绳的意思呢，就是喜庆。
The sauce must be stirred with a wooden paddle once a day, especially on sunny days. On rainy days, the jars must be covered. Good soy sauce has a pleasant fragrance with moderate sweetness and saltiness. The long wait ends with the harvest. This is when farmers are rewarded for their efforts. People of the Manchu nationality, like those of other ethnic groups, pass their traditional cuisine down from generation to generation. Hetu ala Guchang has a history of over 400 years. During the early Qing dynasty, Aunt Lung's farm was a royal mansion. Nuar Harcher ascended the throne here in the year 1616, and he founded the later Jin dynasty. There are many stories involving the farm. Red lanterns hang in stark contrast against the white snow. The holiday dinner at Aunt Lung's home is ready.
这里是啥样的？这个是那个白玉佛手，完了这个是咱家蒸肉，五花三肠的肉，这个是那什么四季丸子，土豆也是土豆。
Preparing the 8-plate, 8-bowl Manchu feast requires a number of different culinary techniques. The feast consists of 8 dishes on plates and 8 hot dishes in bowls. Half the dishes on plates are cold and 4 are hot. 4 of the dishes in bowls are meat dishes and 4 are vegetable dishes. But what Aunt Lung really wants to taste is the soy sauce Li Feng has made. The Manchus have soy sauce with every meal all year round. It's traditional to have 4 sauces of soy sauce as the last course.
妈看我做的酱行不行？这行，下面由我来做。
妈尝一下啊。哎，二姑娘，这个大酱你做了一年到头家打一缸给你盛着吃了，这酱做的挺好啊，和妈妈做的一样，妈妈是跟你姥学的，但是妈做这味儿也挺好。你做的也做的和妈一样，以后呢要保持住啊，真心的做，诚实点儿。
哎呀，妹妹今年酱做的好，希望在猴年呢，你的婚姻能幸福，能找到如意郎君，是不是？
Skills can be acquired, but love is predestined. Let's hope that Li Feng will find the right man in the coming year, as her mother wishes. As the end of the lunar year approaches, people are getting in the spirit for the Chinese New Year. The Changbai Autonomous County is across the Yalu River from North Korea. The aroma of one snack common in the Changbai Autonomous County still triggers memories. Guazhu Li, fried rice cakes, are placed in the most prominent position, like a medal, on every major occasion. On the 28th day of the 12th lunar month, Lian Songlin gets up at 3 a.m. as usual. Modern living conditions make it difficult to cook some traditional foods. Lian Songlin sticks to the traditional location and process to ensure the flavour of the rice cake is authentic. Pound the sticky rice into a powder. Then mix it with boiling water. Place it in the steamer and flatten it out. Flatten it like a pancake. It's then cooked by baking on a heated brick bed. The fire is going and the windows and doors are closed to keep the heated brick bed at a constant temperature of 50 degrees Celsius. The slightest breeze could cause cracking of the surface of the cake. "12 hours later, the water has evaporated, leaving thin slices. Lian Songlin's husband, Cui Shiyun, has already prepared the firewood for the sugar. The high-temperature fire dries the pancakes quickly, and it can also produce the malt syrup needed for the pancakes. After deep frying, the cakes are coated with the syrup, purple perilla seeds, and puffed rice. The fried rice pancakes are ready. Because of low profitability and complexity of production, fewer and fewer people are making the pancakes.
阵一阵刚出来的，太繁琐了这个，他做一上不容易啊，说继承人不多。
Money earned from selling pancakes supported these children, who now have families of their own.
你看我一辈子这么累，我觉得挺高兴。我还是我体格好，我自己挣钱，我自个儿我不大花，儿女谁花也不行哈。我不撒谎，我年轻时候也不化妆，我这一辈子可以没买过这么惨过，就知道干活。
This Chinese New Year is important for the whole family because it's also the 60th birthday of Lian Songlin and the 66th birthday of Tui Shuyuan.
现在你知道不？妈妈小的时候吃寡妇店，只有谁家结婚呐、谁家过大寿啊，才能吃着一张半张。大人们做那寡妇店好辛苦的，就像姥姥现在这么辛苦。
The children are secretly planning a birthday party for their parents at the beginning of the lunar year. People of the Korean nationality regard the 60th birthday as the greatest occasion of one's life. This is the second time that Lian Songlin has worn her traditional dress. The whole family enjoys staying up before the midnight holiday dinner. The children, meanwhile, really look forward to putting on their new clothes and playing. It's a busy time leading up to the holiday. Early in the morning, Fu Junming goes to Zhang Changgang's house to discuss ingredients for a wedding dinner coming up in just 2 days.
下起晚了，全是活鱼啊！哎，俺们明天办喜事有啊，啥活的？一定还要优惠一点啊！行行，你放心吧。来。
The freezing winter makes it easier to keep food fresh. Rural dwellers in northeast China traditionally hold weddings in winter when they have the time and money. The marriages of sons and daughters create an even more joyous atmosphere for the holiday celebration. Fu Junming and his partner are now getting to work. Mengjiang in Jingyu County is surrounded by mountains. The locals often visit each other and view the other villagers as family members.
全村都得跟忙活起来。谁家都是。
All the villagers, from young to old, participate in the wedding dinner held before the Chinese New Year. The dinner party is sometimes more festive than the holiday itself.
等会儿啊，这边我看啊，那个都贴的有点那什么了。来，这样，这个正好，看看我看，到那点，正好。好。
这
Vegetables and meat are being prepared. The temperature on the day of the wedding is close to minus 30 degrees Celsius. A temporary cooking fire is set up and the dishes are stir-fried with paddles. The dishes must be kept warm in spite of the weather, and fixing the right quantity of food is also important. These days, young people often have their wedding banquets in a restaurant and don't need a village cook. But Fu Junming is an experienced cook, and he's always willing to offer his help in getting all the home-cooked food ready for a wedding dinner. There are both hot and cold dishes prepared in a variety of ways. The wedding banquet should inspire prosperity and good luck. The villagers at the party are all in a festive mood as they enjoy the delicious country cuisine. The villagers gather at the wedding banquet to drink, share stories, and express their feelings. During the dinner, they keep the liquor flowing to ward off the cold as they engage in lively conversation. The most popular liquor in northeast China is made from sorghum, corn, rice, oats, soft yellow rice, and distiller's yeast. Home distilleries, each with their own secret methods, have always been popular here. Zhang Yiyu lives alone in the distillery. He's lived around the aroma of fermenting liquor since his youth. Ensuring that the family's brewing skills will be passed on requires a dedicated effort. The Zhang family has been producing liquor for 3 generations. Liquor's been a part of the family's culture leading right up to Zhang Yiyu. Even Zhang's wife helps in the distillery. Zhang Yiyu's son Deqiang, now 15 years old and considered an adult, is in charge of sealing this year's batch of liquor. Five layers of fresh deer blood and thin pliable mulberry paper comprise just one step, and it takes 5 steps and 3 days to complete sealing the crocks. Sealing crocks is both an ending and the beginning of expectations. October is the best time for brewing grain-based liquor. The distillery workers are family relatives who enjoy drinking. In the liquor cellar 2 meters below ground, Zhang Yiyu and his father shovel the fermented distiller's grains into a steaming hot mash cooking pot.
这个酒味儿香哈，味儿香，也拿透了。这酒确实是拿透了，能多数酒。6。
The burning charcoal keeps raising the temperature. The aroma gradually permeates the entire village. The new, still warm liquor is exceptionally mellow. Zhang Yiyu reserves the last pot of liquor produced before the Chinese New Year for the villagers. They serve it to family members who've been away from home for a long time, relatives and friends from afar, hard-working family members, and distinguished guests.
这里来是新年儿啊，大年初一头一天儿。
The holiday celebration actually starts on the 23rd of the 12th lunar month. The family's 80-year-old grandmother, who carries the family recipe, will attend the Zhang family dinner. Before the family eats, they pray to the gods of heaven and earth and visit their ancestors' graves. At the family dinner on the 23rd of the 12th lunar month, De Chiang opens a jar of liquor sealed by him and his father. This liquor is the result of a whole year's work on the part of the whole family, and it's now being enjoyed by the family. Their grandmother will also share the original Zhang recipe with the whole family.
老头啊，过年了，你也来一杯，你孙子酿的酒。
This old recipe book has been in the family for generations.
没有啥秘方，就是会忘不了老祖宗就行，就是秘方。
As this time next year, the aroma of the Zhang family liquor and the smoke from their chimney will again fill every corner of the village. People who depend on nature for survival show respect for nature in many different ways. Locals follow a primitive fishing and hunting lifestyle. They catch fish and shrimp from the estuary, a custom they've followed for generations.
脚，我要着急，我要着慌，老牛拉车，要滚当啊，一后两脚，脚跟后头，围着那毛啊，儿啦，就这么整啊，英雄好汉，整天的围着那嘴了，来了来吧，围着那嘴了，就这么整了，儿吧，就这么整吧，挖到天黑，算一天吧，来了来吧，整的好啊，像真真情，儿吧，就这么整啊，儿吧，来了来吧，儿吧，整的好啊。
Arjiagol is a small town on the Liaohe River estuary. It has an area of just 218 square kilometres, but it has a coastline of 28 kilometres. Long ago, Arjiagol was an important stopping place for merchants and fishing boats. Because of the convenient land and water routes, many people ended up settling here. The ancestral home of Guo Yongli is in Shandong. His grandfather was the first in the family to move here, and when he did so, he brought with him the ability to make shrimp paste. The people here make their living from the sea. The production of shrimp paste and shrimp oil depends on water, air, and wind. Except for in the winter, Guo Yongli looks for good weather every day. After the fresh shrimp and brine are fully mixed, time takes over.
父亲在世前就对我说：“这手艺永远是自己的。”
It takes over 3 months of fermentation for the brine to absorb the taste of the sea, giving the shrimp paste its special flavour. There's no written recipe for making the shrimp paste, so the formula has to be passed from generation to generation orally. It takes time to truly master this process. Excess liquid leaches out of the paste and into the bamboo basket. In time, this liquid will mature into a delicious condiment, shrimp sauce. The people who make the shrimp paste are proud that they follow the ancient method, a unique method passed down for generations in the family. On sunny days, the covers of the jars are removed during the day so that the shrimp paste can be aired and stirred. At night, the covers are again removed so that the shrimp paste can absorb the dew. All of this requires a great deal of work. Making and enjoying shrimp paste is a unique custom of the local fishermen. Fishing families have had a dish full of shrimp paste and a bottle of shrimp oil on the dining table for millennia.
工厂做的再好，也没有个小作坊啥，金哥亲手做的，有那个人情味儿。
The traditional production process hasn't changed at all, but the flavour of the shrimp paste is not as good as before. It's the end of the year. The Liaodong Peninsula is covered with ice and snow, and the dockyard is decorated with lanterns and streamers. The fishing boats are all decorated with red lanterns and red silk for good luck. The fishing boats of northeast China do not go out to sea in winter. Nostalgia for the original flavour has inspired Guo Yongli to action during his winter break.
现在下降的味道不跟以前了，现在这海里污染也多了，垃圾也厚了，有空时候到海边去捡点，捡点少点。
An ordinary man is guarding this area of the sea in his own way. Guo Yongli's shrimp paste factory officially goes into operation on Chinese New Year's Day. His home operation has now been replaced by a large factory, but he does believe in passing his family tradition to the next generation. The Chinese New Year has arrived. Another year has passed. Regardless of the changes taking place in the rest of the world, traditional skills are quietly carried on. With the passage of time, former glories become history and memory. Skills that people have preserved with utmost care are representatives of a simpler time.